The Ethics of Ambiguity by Simone de Beauvoir explained. Personal freedom and others. According to Beauvoir, our happiness, unhappiness, and search for meaning within life is based upon our shared experience of the human condition as a child. We are born into the world protected from the harsh anxieties of existence and freedom, for we do not possess the skills or capacity to examine them. Instead, we inherit a world that is already equipped with meaning which we ourselves have not helped to create, but must accept without challenge. Beauvoir calls this condition the serious world, where values and authorities are pre-existent. In this serious world of ready-made values, we are allowed to practice freedom with a safety net. The meaning we create for ourselves brings no consequences, and we can let our creative imaginations take control as we live our happily, irresponsible lives. However, time brings what Beauvoir calls the crisis of adolescence, in which we are forced to realize our responsibility as existent beings, our own subjectivity, and that of others. It is at this point in life that the easily traced path of childhood branches into a series of unclear, dangerous, and often deceiving trails, which we must choose to go down in hopes of achieving the end goal, freedom. According to Beauvoir, there are two components to attaining ethical freedom. Firstly, one must assume his own subjectivity. That is, one must realize his own agency and come to terms with his individual being. Yet Beauvoir notes an easily made flaw in the assuming of one's subjectivity, which is the desire to attain being. Let's take a look. In this scenario, let's assume that pennies equal being. As humans, we inherently have being, which seems simple, however, will become the most difficult concept to accept. The want to have being, or to acquire more being, is tempting. However, Beauvoir notes that this is actually living inauthentically. One cannot get more being. It is important to realize that being cannot be equated with happiness, and that you cannot increase your happiness by increasing the value of your being, because you cannot increase the value of your being in the first place. So the challenge in the assuming of one's subjectivity is letting go of the desire to be and accepting that you just are. The second part to attaining freedom is the realization that one must work towards the freedom of humankind. While Part 1 deals with individual subjectivity, Part 2 asserts that as individuals we exist in relation to one another, and that the existence of other men justifies the existence of us as individuals. Like Newton said, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. In this case, how can I assume my freedom ethically without simultaneously willing the freedom of others? Because we are connected, to will oneself free is to also will others free. Through genuinely assuming your subjectivity and embracing actions that lead toward the freedom of others, you have, according to Beauvoir, achieved ethical freedom.